Hello and welcome to the Berg Cast. I'm your host, Brett Reed, and on this podcast series, we deep dive into the life of Division III athletes here at Heidelberg University. If you have anyone you want to see, please comment down below. Today's guest is Sigurd Ilestad. Let me give him a little introduction. During his time here at the Berg, Siggy has managed to achieve Dean's List 6 out of 7 semesters. He was a 2-time All-Academic OAC Honors, Heidelberg Athlete of the Week, OAC Athlete of the Week, and this year he earned OAC Second Team. Siggy, welcome to the show. It's nice having you on. You are my first international guest.
Pressure.
The pressure is on. And so, tell them where you're from.
I am from Norway, a little town called Tønsberg. It's actually the oldest town in Norway. It's from the year 871.
Okay.
It's known for being featured in 3 Marvel movies.
Really?
Yeah, it's from the first Captain America movie, the first Thor movie, and also Avengers Endgame.
No way.
Yes.
I did not know that.
No?
That's actually very interesting.
Have you watched Endgame?
I have watched them.
Yeah.
I watched all of them.
Yeah, so do you remember the scene when they go to the new Asgard? There's like a little sign underneath when it says "Welcome to Tønsberg."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I mean, obviously, or I guess, unfortunately, they don't record it in in the city, but it's called it. So
Okay, gotcha.
I guess the shout out. It's kind of funny because I watched it in the movies. It was actually here in Tiffin. I was obviously full cinema and everything, and I stood up and was like, "Represent!" People always started laughing. It was just a good moment.
That's awesome. And there's been some shots here in Cleveland, but that's crazy that they had almost 3 movies in your place. So what do you guys do there for fun? Like, what is, here, we just go out and we just, ride our bikes around, go to Walmart.
Yeah.
What do you guys do there for fun?
I don't know. I mean, one thing we used to do, because I come from a little suburb on the outside of Tønsberg. So there's like a smaller elementary school. So what we usually do was that we either jumped on the roof, you just climb up on the roof. We actually had a couch there for a summer before someone took it away. I don't know who did it. But then another time as well, someone broke the door. So we just snuck into school and hung out at school.
That's kind of sweet.
Don't know why, but we just did it.
So is your guys' area, so do you guys have subways? Is it very close? Is it spread out? How's the town? Is that more downtown? You live more downtown?
No. I live on the outskirts of things.
Okay.
I would say that I'm in a hybrid between a half a city and half a countryside. So
okay, gotcha.
Yes, I'm next to a farm, but we have a bus service or public transport.
Yeah.
We don't have subways, unfortunately. We're not that big. It's only 50,000 in Tønsberg or something like that.
And are you guys by the water?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I see the water from my house.
Awesome. And how do you like that?
I mean, it's obviously very nice.
Yes.
Growing up you can literally just bike to the beach if you feel like it. So obviously, having a little flexibility in terms of that. So obviously being here is a little bit weird.
Yeah, right.
Because in the summer if it's hot, you just take the bus or you just drive or something to the beach. But here it's it's a 15,000-hour drive.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, yeah. I'm from Sandusky and I'm by the water all the time.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit weird coming to Tiffin. So that'll move me on to my next question. So, what was your high school like? What is high school like in Norway compared to United States?
Yeah, so I actually went to 2 different high schools.
Okay.
So I started at Norway's biggest high school, which is only 2,000 students.
Only 2,000 students.
So obviously in an American scale it's not a lot, but
right.
In Norway it's a massive thing. So in there it was kind of interesting because they were forced to give us 15-minute breaks because we had to make it to class. Our dining hall was regularly visited by police.
Really?
Yeah, because it was drug deals going on every single day.
Wow, I did not expect that from Norway.
And it was actually kind of funny because one of the police officers that usually worked that day was my captain on the soccer team. So when we meet up, it's hey, what up? But then before my last year, because we only go 3 years in high school.
Really?
Yeah, so before my last year, I got picked up by a private sports school
okay.
High school kind of thing. And that was very small. And my graduating class was 30, 40 people.
That's smaller than my school.
Yeah,
and I thought in retrospect, my school, when I tell people I graduated with 40 people, they're like, 40 people, whoa, you can only graduate with 30.
Yeah. So it was a very big change. Obviously, coming from a school that was obviously twice the size of Heidelberg to come into a school.
Yeah.
It's there was literally 2 buildings.
Wow.
But again though, my coaches there, they have one everything there is to win when it comes to like soccer and stuff
Mhm.
like that. Like they've won the Champions League for those people who know what that is. The Premier League, I believe, a couple of them has won as well. So it was just like, so yeah. So I was like the level of things was like obviously a step up.
It's good.
But again, there's a lot fewer people though.
So in high school, or not even high school, like middle school,
Yeah.
what is you get? So how do the grades work then? So like what would you say your high school grades are, like sophomore, junior, senior, or do you do an extra year in middle school?
No, so we do 10 years of school before we start high school.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, yes, like elementary, middle school. That's
Mhm.
like 10 years.
Okay.
And then we go 3 years of high school. Then it's only 3 years of college though. So like to get a bachelor is only 3 years.
In Norway.
Yeah. So
Wow.
technically, by being here, I'm like a year
And-
behind my friends.
Okay, yeah,
Like, obviously
gotcha.
That's the same thing. So yeah, so they all graduated with a bachelor last year.
And you're doing an extra year too, right?
Yeah.
So you're 2 years behind.
Well, no, because that's a fun thing. Because obviously the masters or the MBA takes 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, I do like catch up.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah,
Okay, so yeah, I guess it
Yeah,
all evens
exactly,
out.
yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is.
All right, and then I will move on to the next question. So, you're from Norway.
Yeah.
What got you into soccer? Is that the main? I'm assuming that's the main thing there.
Yeah,
So, what got
so-
you into soccer, like particularly? Parents,
Yeah.
school.
So
or-
my dad used to play soccer. My big brother, I have a big brother. He used to play. Or older brother, he used to play soccer. He still does. So obviously that was like the beginning. Obviously, I remember that. Yeah, like this is one baby picture of me, which is like the first picture I've taken of me, and it says like basically says like soccer rules, or something like with like soccer. It says like number 10 on the back. So yeah, so it was. I kind of got it through from a very early age. Yeah, but it was especially watching the World Cup in 2006. Yeah, I mean, because even though I like at that point I played, but like that was just like, wow, that's cool.
Mhm.
That's
So
what I want to do.
I remember when I asked you for like your achievements and stuff. You said
Yeah.
that in high school you guys didn't really get.
No.
You didn't get achievements.
No.
What do you mean? Like you just didn't get anything?
No, so the way the school works is that like if you do a sport, it's all through clubs.
Okay.
So like in school, you only practice. And I think throughout my whole high school, I think I played 2 games with my high school.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so it was more of practicing in high school,
Yeah.
and then you were on a
Mhm.
club team.
Yeah. So like the high school in Norway is more like a bonus thing. Like if you want to, like if you want more practices and more of anything,
Mhm.
you go to a certain high school and do that.
Really?
Yeah. So like.
Like none of the high schools, or just your high school, did not play on high school teams.
None of the like no.
All
no,
club?
Yeah. All the everything
Interesting.
is club. Everything. Yeah. And like that's like regardless of the sport. Like it's like because I mean in Norway obviously there's winter sports
Mhm.
like skiing and alpine skiing stuff like that. But like other than the winter sports, there's really just 2 main sports, which is soccer and handball.
Okay.
Like all like regardless of what sport you're in, it's all club. It's
Gotcha.
all club. But then the school is like an extra thing. But then again, the last school I went to, it's like a higher level school. So like, so like you kind of have to be picked out
Mhm.
to go to it. Yes, like they will help you facilitate to get into better teams and better clubs. Like
So do they see you from? So did like how he picked you up from high school?
yeah.
Does he see you from other club like games?
So I actually went. It's kind of funny because I actually applied to the high school.
Mhm.
But then they first said no, and
Okay.
I don't know why. Because I had a couple of friends at the school, and they were
Mhm.
like, "Why didn't you come here?" Like, and I was like, "Well, I didn't get in." He's like, "What?" Like the goalie coach is talking like literally all about you for like 2 months now. And I was like, "Well, I don't know. They just told me I didn't get in." So like I knew him from the guy. Like the goalie coach I knew from the get go because I've been to a couple of his like just like weekend stuff like he
Mhm.
does. So I knew him from that, and also he helped me getting into a better club as well, or like practice with them and stuff like that. So yeah, like he just knew me, and suddenly I was just sitting doing studying for my finals, and he just called me up and was like, "Hey, so we have the students quitting. Do you want a spot?" And I was like, "Ah, sure, why not?"
Well, there you go. That's a good way to join.
It was.
So, from Norway, this is a question that, it's not very fascinating to ask, students around here because, it's like, why Heidelberg? Well, I'm only 45 minutes away. This is very interesting to ask you. Everything's interesting asking you questions because it's all completely different.
Yeah.
So, how do you find Heidelberg?
They found me.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, so you didn't even know, like, this is a Heidelberg, not even in Germany, the Heidelberg in Ohio, which, have you even been to other countries besides Norway at that point?
Yeah. I've been all the way across Europe. I've been to China like 3 times.
So
I went to U.S. once.
So you've been to the U.S. before?
Yeah, I went to visit New York City.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you actually got, the good part of the United States.
Exactly.
Okay, so how did Heidelberg find you?
So given that I don't usually speak English, it's like the second language. To be able to get into college, you have to take like an English test called TOEFL test, which is like basically like an SAT, but just for English.
Okay, gotcha.
And I did really well on it. I got 105 or 120, which is like ridiculous. Like to get into Ivy League, you only need 100.
Really?
Yeah, so it's kind of funny because Brown University actually contacted me and said, "Hey, could you send us your grades?" I sent them my grades. Never heard from them ever again. So I guess I guess my grades were shit. I was like, yeah, cool.
Cool.
Yeah, but from that though, so from the same thing, Heidelberg contacted me as well. And then I told them I played soccer, and then like the whole process changed. Obviously, talk to coaches, jibber jabber. And I ended up being contacted by like talk to seriously like 20, 25 schools, like NIAI, D3, D2, actually a couple D1 schools as well. But I kind of wanted something a little bit smaller. It just feels more of a community kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because obviously, like I come from a smaller place, so I figured why not.
Yeah.
And then Heidelberg just stood out because like they seemed like they really, really wanted me here. So yeah, like I talked to the coach like a couple of times as well. And then I narrowed down to 3 schools, and I was like, let's just go visit them. Because Easter break in Norway is a week.
Gotcha.
So we went during Easter. And we visited 3 schools. And at one of the schools, teammate tried to stab another teammate, so I couldn't get there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I feel like that's probably a safe bet.
And at the same school as well. It was the day before like Easter breaks, like people would go home. So we were out partying, and and we were supposed to leave at like 8 a.m. the next morning, and I was sleeping in a dorm room. I slept through my alarm. The coach of the soccer team came in and like knocking like really hard on the door, and I was there like super hungover. Oh damn! So obviously, I finally got there to the car. My dad pissed off, obviously, naturally as well.
Naturally.
We got to the airport. I threw up and everything. So like I knew I couldn't go back to that one. And at the other one, it was kind of funny because like they didn't let me show see any of the players. I talked to one guy because he was Norwegian.
Okay, gotcha.
But like other than that, it was like I just didn't talk to anyone. So it just gave me a good feeling. But like I got here. We got toured around 2 of the players, by 2 of the players. They took my parents somewhere to meet to hang out with a couple of
awesome.
A couple of soccer guys. I was in their room the whole day, practiced with them during the night. It's kind of funny though because apparently the coach told them I was 6'2", which I'm obviously not. So, but yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. You spice them up a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's weird because Heidelberg I always say this to the other people who come on the show. They do a very good job at making, like, a family atmosphere.
Yeah.
Like, it's very, like, I only went to a couple other schools, and I've said this multiple times. I didn't really eat with the athletes, and I didn't go with the athletes, but obviously you ate lunch with them. I ate lunch with them. Like, everyone eats lunch with the athletes here. Like, they get to know, like, who you are. And it's awesome. I love it. So that one will move me on. We'll take a break from the questions now. We're going to play a mini game.
Oh, God.
So, we're going to guess who. I took some of your teammates.
Yeah.
And, well, actually, I shouldn't say, they're not all teammates. I shouldn't say that. They're people on your team. So, hopefully I didn't give it away. Anyway, so I cut them down, and you just have to guess who they are. You can take a second, scan it. If you know it right away, go for it. But yeah, here we go. I always make it so easy for people. So I'm hoping that I can stump you. But if not, I'll just have to like never play this game again. All right, so here's your first one.
Oh, I recognize that ridiculous weird mustache anyway. That's Isaac.
That is Isaac. All right, that is Isaac Wienen. I tried my hardest to make that one hard. All right, let's go to the next one. Here we go. Got a sideburn there. Not really sideburn, actually.
That looks like Corey.
Okay.
Corey Gilbert.
Actually, Hoos. I'll probably give you crap for that. All right, next one. Here we go.
Oh, Andre.
Is that your final guess?
Yeah, because I remember him looking very pale in the picture. That's why I immediately said it. And, like, the hairline is worse than mine, so...
All right, here we go. It is...
Oh, no!
It's your old GA. Actually, is he still your GA?
Yeah, but yeah, only for like 2 weeks though.
Okay, well,
Josh.
Well, yeah, there you go. It was Josh. You can tell Andre that his hairline did not meet the standards.
No.
Alright. So now we'll go into another question, and then we'll go into another question, and then we'll play another game.
Yeah.
So, what is your biggest transition from Norway to America?
I mean, obviously the language is the first thing.
Okay.
The other thing as well is actually something that I heard because I worked in the admissions, and they had an event last week, and it was one of the, I don't know what she was, but basically this woman said that Heidelberg is aggressively friendly, which is very fitting for the school. But like just in general, I feel like Americans are very like, at least like in the smaller towns, like I was outside of like New York City and stuff like that. But they're very aggressively friendly. Like they will say hello to you.
Yeah.
Without really meaning it, I guess. Or like,
Yeah.
It's like, how are you? They don't expect you to answer how are you.
Yeah.
But like in the beginning, I actually answered it. And they just kept going, and I just thought that's kind of rude.
So yeah, like good. Oh, like you walk some past in the hallway.
Yeah,
okay, I see what
yeah,
you're saying. Like
yeah,
you walk
'cause,
past
like-
someone in the
'cause,
hallway.
like, yeah,
how are you
'cause-
good? All right, how are you good?
Exactly, because like in Norway, first of all, we just don't talk to each other. So when you first talk to someone, it's like you kind of want to talk to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like let's say that you're on a bus. There's usually like 2 seats. If there's a guy occupying the first seat, no one will ever sit on the second seat. They'd rather stand up than sit on the second seat.
Okay, gotcha.
Because like we're just like personal space is a big thing. And,
Yeah.
and we're very. I mean, obviously Norway's a cold country, but like it's a very cold people too. Like we kind of keep to ourselves a little bit. At least where I'm from.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Like I said, like the bus driver usually had to force us to sit with each other if the bus was too full. So yeah.
So let me reword the question too. What is your biggest transition from Norway to maybe Tiffin or Heidelberg? Like when you came here, what is like something you had to like kind of like get used to besides the language, besides the people? Like what is something like food maybe, or like the way a schedule is, or something like that?
I mean, obviously the AM PM stuff. We use 24-hour clocks, so just that in the beginning was just like I just had to think right. Food wise, I would argue. I mean, I come from Norway. We're pretty for fish. The government basically says we should eat fish 3 times a week.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, so like literally, my mom, she was kind of worried that I didn't get enough fish in me. So like, there's 2 things I bring from Norway. There's chocolate because it's really good, and fish pills like like fish oil pills.
Oh, like omega 3. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. And I know, and I've actually been doing. It's weird because that you said that is because I've actually I've been trying to look up vitamins and stuff like that, and I recently read that omega 3 is super good for you.
Yeah.
So that's actually kind of crazy that I kind of just heard it for this 3rd time this week. But okay, that's actually very interesting. Thank you for that answer. We'll now move on to the next game, which is rapid fire questions.
Oh no.
So I'm gonna give you a question, and you have to answer someone from your team who would best fit the question.
Okay.
All right. They're actually not rapid fire. You can kind of take your time on them, but we'll call them rapid fire.
All right,
so,
cool.
Okay.
Slow rapid fire.
Yeah, slow rapid fire. Here we go. Who would you give the aux to in the gym?
I was gonna say myself.
All right.
Because everyone listens to rap, and I'm very sick and tired of rap.
You can say yourself. Don't worry.
Actually though, maybe Simon.
Okay.
Joseph, because he kind of he kind of likes to mess around with the music, and he's actually decent. So maybe Simon.
Okay, next question. Who dresses the best?
Me.
You know what? And not to be frank, but this man does dress very nice. So if you ever seen him around campus, probably the best dressed person on campus.
Yeah,
This might be an off day. This might be an off day for you.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, because like I got up at 4 a.m. this morning because Apex Legends has a huge tournament in Sweden. So I sat up all morning and watched that. So I was like, yeah, no.
Bright and early.
Yeah.
All right, next one. Who would you not let date your daughter?
Dave.
All
Dave
right.
to Chuku Chad.
Who has the best hair?
Hair. I mean, you got it. You got it as a Tim Zach. Like the big. Ginger
Oh
curls.
yeah. I know that.
He's absolutely brilliant.
Who is the smartest on your team?
See, this is a very split question because like there's book smart and there's like normals, like street smart.
Let's go both.
Okay, book smart. Spencer tried one.
Okay.
But he's genuinely stupid.
Okay.
But in terms of the other smart, like the street smart, it's like who maneuvers. Maybe no, Dave is stupid. Simon.
Okay.
Simon.
All right. Biggest hype man.
That's because like you could say like Hoos and all them, but like for the Jamals, but like the thing is like the hype has gone a little too far. So like when they're in the gym, they spend half an hour taking pictures. So it's like the hype isn't the hype; it's just ridiculousness. But I'm gonna be boring and say Dave.
Okay. This one could be
maybe
this could be a multiple answer right here. Who works out the most?
I mean, it depends on what you say. Work out, like
Jim gets in there.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, like like as I just said, like you have people on the team that just like spends like 2 hours in there, but they only work out for half an hour because they spend the rest of them. But I got it, Josh Dom.
Okay.
He literally looks like a Navy SEAL guy.
Funniest guy on your team.
Funniest guy on the team. I mean, you can say Dave. You can say Noah's really funny. Actually.
Okay.
Tyler. I was gonna say Asnuts, but Tyler Amstutz.
Okay. Who do you think is the worst cook?
Worst cook. You see, this is funny because like I do cook out a lot, so like people usually come to my house if they want to cook themselves.
Yeah.
So like I have this like non-stick pan, which is like universally known for you can't use like metal tools because you scrape off the thingy, right? Like every time someone uses it, I was like, oh, that's a new scraper. So like I have like a ring of like scrape marks because people use their like normal forks.
So whole team.
Whoever's been cooking in my house, you're the worst cook.
All right, who gets clowned the most?
Oh, Tommy.
All right, and
Tommy Twinkie.
Twinkie
Tommy.
Who wouldn't last a second in Norway?
See, I want to say Spencer, but he's already been in Norway. But like, if he traveled by himself, he would get kidnapped so easily.
All right, so Spencer is the answer for that one.
Yes, 100%.
All right, so now we'll go on to 2 more questions, and then we'll play one more game, and then we'll get you out of here. All right, so what motivates you? I guess you could say, what motivates you, academically or
just the hard work my parents have put down. I know it's a boring answer, but
no, that's a good answer.
But yeah, obviously they put on a lot of work for me to be able to be here in the first place. So obviously me just wanted to give back to them.
Right.
That kind of gets me up. And also I'm just a very competitive person. I have a girlfriend. She's pretty smart. So every time I beat her in something, even though it's not even the same class, but if I get an A, she gets a B.
Right.
I'm happy about it. She's kind of mad about it. Athletically, it's just... I kind of asked myself a question before coming to college, like, how good can I be?
Mm-hmm.
And, like, that's what I want to do. So I guess that, just, like...
It's awesome.
Yeah, just get
as good as you can get.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's weird because, I don't get a lot of people who usually would have the same answer to me, because I always ask myself, like, what would my answer be, like, in these podcasts?
Yeah.
And I think that question, you and I think a bunch alike, because, when I came to college, I'm like, I run. So all mine is, like, time stuff.
Yeah.
Like, how low can I really go on time? And then for the first one, my parents, hard-working parents, like, you try to do the best you can to give back to them. Mm-hmm. So that's a great answer. I actually think that first one was really good.
That's good.
All right, and the next one is, you've been here a while. So what is your favorite soccer memory here? Like, what is the best thing you can remember?
Oh. I mean, there's a couple of different answers to this, though. the first one being, I scored a winner against BW down at Hidden Valley, sophomore year, because I came in as a goalie, and then I played left back or like left defense.
Yeah.
For my sophomore and junior year because my coach believed I could do, or not necessarily do better than what I would do in goal, but like we had a decent second goalie, so he put me at left back. And I ended up scoring 3 goals in a season, which is like as a defender, it's kind of, or at least, like those 3 goals were in like 9 games.
So like kind of uncommon.
Yeah. Especially when like a striker scored like 2. So like I was technically so that was a lot of fun.
And you came in as a goalie, and then you became a person on the field, and then you went back to goalie, right?
Yeah, and obviously this year I've been just having fun again. I think the first game back in goal was probably my highlight, because like I was back in it. It was just like I just had a huge smile on my face the whole game.
Yeah.
And it was kind of funny because the first game as well, it was like 15-20 minutes in, it came a long ball, and a guy went for it. I called it. I was usually I just should like keep, and then he went for it. I was like, all right, if you go ahead. So I just kneed him straight like in the stomach. He went down.
You caught the ball.
Yeah, obviously I had it, and as I told the ref, because like if you call it as a goalie like early enough, and you obviously catch the ball and everything, like it's his fault, not my fault. So he was carried out.
Yeah. Wow.
I was just standing up.
And you're like, I'm back. This feels home
and
again.
And like I literally told the ref, I was like, why don't you give him a yellow? I was like, bro, he's being carried out. Like I want to, but he's being carried out, so I can't. And like it was I remember I had a similar thing a couple of years back as well when I was back in Norway as well. It's a similar incident, but like then I didn't knee him, but like he hit me in a very weird way. So like he literally after the game he walked on crutches.
It was that bad.
Yeah, it was that bad.
I mean, hey, as a goalie, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta protect that ball.
Exactly. And obviously, given I'm not the biggest, I gotta.
You gotta use your body.
Exactly.
All right, so then that will bring us on to our last segment. You sent me pictures of you.
Yeah.
So we're gonna scan the picture. You're gonna tell me about it, and then we'll see what you remember from that day. If not, we'll just go from there.
Yeah. Go.
All right. So this is your first picture you sent me. This is young Siggy.
Yeah.
First of all, the hair. Yeah. Absolutely beautiful. And so. Do you remember this game? Do you remember this year?
This was, I believe, it was either a Saturday morning practice or it was like a warm up before a game. I see the hair was on point. It was actually kind of funny because like the Christmas after my before my freshman year, my hair actually went down to my chin.
Wow, really?
I think this was close to that. Oh yeah, like the year before.
So when did you change your hairstyle?
I mean, I pretty much had this hair since I was like in 8th, 9th grade.
Okay, I gotcha.
But like at that point, I wanted a little bit longer. But then it was just very stupid being like a goalie because my hair is so light. So like it's like I start sweating, then my hair just gets in my eyes.
Now that I think about it, your hair is very long, so it's just kind of up. It's just not down. Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Exactly. But yeah, as I said, it was a very nice morning. Obviously, like the snowing behind us, probably February, March, just came out. I do remember this practice. It was actually really warm out even though there's snow in the background, but like it felt really warm, even though I'm obviously in pants and sweater. Yeah. Like as a goalie, and obviously it was on turf, you kind of want to protect yourself a little bit from the turf burns and stuff.
All right, we'll move on to the next picture. This, I believe. So this is you not as a goalie. So this is you as what do you say, midfield, backfield?
Wide defense.
So. What is this? You know what this game is?
Yeah. This is the last game of the season, my sophomore year. We're playing Muskie, obviously at home, and I just scored.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
I can see the jumping.
Yeah, exactly. That was because it was kind of funny because we had I don't remember if it was a set piece. And we got in, and they cleared it out, and then Kyle Morton, which was a player who used to play for us, he got it out wide, and it was 2 people back post. It was Simon and me. And he claims that when that ball got in, I shouted to him, "Move!" Like I shouted, "Move!" I don't remember that part, but he did tell me that I did that, and then got it in, and we were basically by ourselves. I just headed it in, and I was obviously just gassed. And it was actually really funny because like as I land, because I saw the picture John Gall, which was another guy who used to play for us. He came, like he was on the way, and he. And he did like this. Like,
the airplane.
Because given I scored 3. Because given I only scored headers, I got the nickname Norwegian Airlines.
Norwegian Airlines. That's actually really funny.
Yeah.
That's a good nickname. Like, that's
Yeah.
actually a high-quality nickname, Norwegian Airlines.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good dumb name. And then
Yeah.
we'll go on to your last picture, which I believe is you in the goalie.
Yeah. So.
So was this last year?
Yeah,
or
yeah. This was last year.
In this game?
Yeah. So, I don't exactly remember who we played, but it's obviously a penalty against me. And that's usually the post I do on penalties.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like on penalties you just kind of do because it should go in. It's a, so like as a goalie you're just trying to mess with them as much as possible. I actually remember one time, I think it was actually this game as well. Cause usually like on like whenever I get a penalty to try to like just kind of get in their head, I just jump up and just like punch like really hard, like punch the crossbar. But then the referee came up to me and was like, "Hey, if you do that again, I'll give you a yellow or like a caution." And I was like, "What? What did I do?" He's like, "Don't do it again." And I was like, "All right, cool." I've done this since I was like 13. No one has ever batted an eye at it. Well, but they were like, "Do it again, I'll give you a yellow."
He was trying to give you a reason to give you a yellow card.
Yeah, I was just like, "Bro, chill out." Fortunately, this was a really good penalty though, so he went in. I believe this was either the one where I went the same way, but it just went over me, or he just kind of tricked me and put the other way. But yeah,
it happens.
It happens.
It happens. That's the part about being a goalkeeper.
The first penalty I had I actually saved them.
Okay, that's good.
And the game ended 1-1. It was against Wilmington, and Wilmington was, if I'm not totally mistaken, they were at least ranked, or not like nationally ranked, but like close to being nationally ranked at that point as well.
Oh, that's good.
So that was a really obviously.
Yeah. I would be happy if that was you.
Oh yeah.
Small victories.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so that will bring me on to our last question, which would be actually we have one last question, and then I'll have my own questions because I'm curious about Norway.
Yeah.
So the last question for the podcast is, what is your advice for freshmen? And I guess in your case, what would be your advice for someone who's an international student?
For freshmen, don't go home.
Okay.
Like your first semester, like kind of force yourself to stay, because like you're gonna miss home. Like that's a given. Like I remember in the beginning, it was like classes went a little bit harder. Like class started being a little bit harder. Obviously looking back at my classes were easy, but as a freshman you feel like it's like obviously like there's a lot of things to do, but like I think the freshmen who succeeds are the ones who doesn't get tempted at going home every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Or like obviously me I can't go home.
Right.
But like I kind of said to my parents, like I only want to talk to you guys once a week. And then we can talk for like an hour, 2 hours, whatever. Yeah. But like just to kind of get over that period, like you have to do your own thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, don't go home.
And then would that be your advice for, I guess, international students? Would your advice be like?
International students. First of all, if you don't speak English, have a dictionary next to you, because you're gonna forget a lot of what a lot of things are called. Second thing, I would say actually, unfortunately, it's just I was about to say be good friends with Juliana, which is the international coordinator, but she's quitting now, so I can't say that anymore. But I would say if I could do college all over again, one thing I would do is go in the International Student Union. Okay. Because like usually they are internationals or like half internationals, like they understand your perspective a little bit more.
Right.
So like, and it's also the easiest thing for an international to be part of, because like you're basically automatically part of it.
Right.
But like being engaged in the meetings and being engaged in those things, I think that
awesome.
Would have been good.
And then I guess that will wrap up the podcast. But I have a few of my own questions for you.